This game can get heavy on the graphics, so I recommend you turn this down a bit since you won't really be seeing too much. And the difference between these two, yeah. So, when it comes to this game, usually you'll start out as a scientist usually. And usually you'll have tasks or whatever. This is the, like, start a shift. Anyway, you can get your daily reward right here in your profile. You press G, or you click here, yeah. And you can also see your stats, your employee title, the XP needed, your points, your global XP, team XP, and total played, which is slightly broken at this time, because before, it's like it'll get to 24 hours, it just goes back to 0 instead of saying, oh, 1 day, which yeah, and for the rewards, it would go to like 1 second, then you'd have to rejoin, and it gets stuck, so you'd need to rejoin. These are teams, which usually descriptions, and if you're unable to join a team when you try to, it usually tells you why. There's shops, settings, very important, and whatever, this VIP page. Anyway, we're gonna start off with the scientist. Oh wait, we should probably get the uniform, to be honest. Now, there is a thing that you can do as, like, scientist that is, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's one of the most confusing things that even I don't understand, basically. So, these are a change room, basically. That's like your spawns. There's like 2 main ones, one here and one down there in sector, C? No. B, I think. Anyway, you'll see these around the area. They tell you how much time is left in the shift. This is the night shift. Now, security, you might not see them too often. Those are where janitors spawn. We'll talk about them later. But security, basically, you have to go to the Discord server, do a bunch of stuff to join. Very complicated. Very much overly complicated. Chaos forces. Well, yeah, security's job. Hold on. Let's just talk about scientists right now. We'll talk about other stuff later. So there's like this. We are currently in the sector A. Okay. So we have some elevators here. Emergency staircase. The staircase takes a set amount of time. When you at least when you get. Basically, each staircase you go around once. And there. Although I think it takes longer than the elevator, I'm not sure. Like, I think it's like 14 seconds or 15 for the staircase, so let's actually count. From the doors closing. 1, blue button, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, lag. Oh god. Like 16. About 16 seconds? I wasn't counting well though, so. Oh god. Oh, that is that is lag. I know the video recording isn't the best, so I know, oh my god. Now hold on, did I turn them back up on accident? Because like, turning up here is just useless, so you turn it down here, you should get much smoother, especially like. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna turn that down before. Listen, there's basically no difference. It's not this laggy usually, I'm telling you. So that was sector A. This is sector B, where. Oh my god, why is this so? Hold on a second. Let's see. Maybe more detail in settings. Camera shake, in-game textures. Now listen, I recommend when you do play this game to turn off join and leave messages. Unless you're like really important on it. Okay, I am having some issues here. I'm sorry for this. I'm sure the recording quality is terrible right now. Oh my god. Ooh. I just saw one difference be the floor got slightly lighter. Well, darker, I guess. Okay, usually this game is working smoothly at this point. Oh my god. What is with it? Okay, there we go. Listen, we'll talk about... Oh my god, what now? Something is happening here. So, listen, at this time, as of this video being recorded, this is not... By the way, the game is not completely done. There's another changing room right there. Yeah. Anyway, this would be where a fission reactor is going to be, but it's not here yet. Now, as you can see right there, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's a game. It takes time to make, and at least, well, we have time. We can play it now though. So as a scientist, you basically what you can do is like crystals and stuff. Not those kinds of crystals. Get your mind out of the gutter, or we'll talk about that later. But the laboratories area. Now there's a few different things. There's like, I'm gonna use some words like a lot. Yeah. So we have a bunker over here, by the way. Rocket testing and facility architects. Rocket testing is coming in part 2. By the way, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by these guys. I want to get that out of the way. Don't think that. This is like honest review here. We have some stuff, and this game is usually completely fine. Completely normal. Smooth running. Something is just off today. Maybe it's my computer. Maybe it's because I'm recording. That's why. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, experimental workspaces. And there's a crystal testing area. That's part 2. My god. Okay. Anyway, employee keycard. Make sure you have that. You should. Now, these are workspaces. I'm going to be honest with you. Usually all of them are full when you come in here. Now, crystals. Listen, I never messed with this when I played this game. I kind of tried, but it's like, listen, this thing is painful. It's weird. I say that as a guy who's never really tried it much, so honestly, it might be much easier than I think. But anyway, I got like 45 XP. Anyway, you're basically supposed to come in here, like make different types of crystals. Listen, somebody else can explain this to you. I'm gonna be honest. There's probably a wiki on it. I mean, there's also the big blackboard right there. There is a cave, which maybe I'll get into. Basically, you would take a containment cell. I don't know what you can do with the tweezers right now. No, hold on. To collect crystal for experimentation, you need to enter the crystal cave with the hazmat. Yeah. Basically, you take a containment cell. You go out here to your... Oh, by the way, you claim a workspace, but... Into the crystal cave area. You'd go into this changing room right here. And put on a hazmat suit. You don't really spawn here. Those Geiger counters are part of a Game Pass. You can buy them for Robux here, Tools Plus, or you can buy them from points, which they only last until you leave the game. So like but the Geiger counter does work. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not wearing a hazmat suit, but yeah, you go in the crystal cave. That place that's like right there earlier you saw, that's where it is. You'd go collect a crystal. And yeah, you do go into the experiment hall and do stuff with it. That's about it for science. Maybe.
Attention. In Sector C drug area, new boxes has been arrived.
New boxes has been arrived.
Move boxes in 1 hour.
Yeah, those are tasks everyone can do for XP. Basically. Now, these workspaces. Yeah, we're not gonna mess with those today. Hopefully you're getting good quality here. You should be getting good voice quality though. Let me just check my settings for... Wait, yeah, what I just did should hopefully get better quality recording, but not this video still. Anyway, you've probably seen like a few cuts just now. Anyway, now... Oh, hey, I got some points. Yeah, there's a group you can join, by the way, which is kind of important. Anyway, getting XP as a scientist is going to be hard. There's a task in Sector C. You go get some boxes and stuff. Anyway... Let's move on to the janitors. Hopefully there was a good title card or something. The janitors, what is your job? Plant water. That is basically it. Are you in need of some quick XP? Well, let's hope that somebody hasn't already done this. Basically, watering can. When you hold it, you see those green things? Those are plants. So basically, you're gonna go and water them. Now listen. If your job is trying to get enough XP to get as an engineer or reactor operator, this is what you're gonna want to do. Because when you water a plant, you'll usually get 1 XP per plant. Not even any in a private server. That's fair. But listen, normally you'll get like 1 XP, and you'll get a good bit of XP. This is a very fast way to get XP, but once the plants are watered, it takes a good while, multiple shifts, I believe, before you can actually, sorry, my words are failing right now. before sorry. It's gonna take a while before you get a lot of XP, or before the plants are able to be watered again. That's basically it. Engineers. So engineers, they are one the being a janitor and scientist are free, but for an engineer, you're gonna need global XP, which is this stuff right here on the top right. Your team XP is like, if you're a scientist, you might have gotten 10 XP as a scientist and like 10 as a janitor. Your global XP would be that combined, like 10 plus 10. So you have 20 global XP. For an engineer, you need 150 global XP. What does an engineer do? I actually found out is more than just turn on turbines. So like this is where an engineer can spawn. I'm under some turbines. Give me a second. When starting the reactor, one thing that's going to need to be done is the turbines be turned on, which can only be done by engineers. Now I warn you, this might get a bit loud. I don't know if it will or not. Basically, these are the turbines. They are required to be both on. I won't stay here for long though, so I don't have to give you. Oh, that's weird. Is it this? Does it make it loud or something? I probably shouldn't be here for long because it's probably about to suddenly burst my. Yeah, anyway. I swear, if this music in the elevator is copyrighted, I'm gonna be unhappy. Because that would be like painful. I mean, it's not like they expected somebody to make a video on their game, I don't know. So, yeah, the engineers turn on turbines. They have their own key card, so that works too. Oh yeah, I forgot about, what, crap. The, I'm sorry, I'm wording badly here. The server room. That is a place only engineers can get access to. I mean, Chaos can, but still. Anyway. Jump cut in a moment. A neat little thing is when your stamina gets to 40% or lower, you start getting, your vision starts to get darker and you start breathing heavily. Anyway, welcome to the server room. This can only be opened by an engineer with an engineer keycard, or with Chaos with a keycard hacker thing. Here you will find a book that tells Chaos how to commit FFD, also known as full facility destruction, which basically allows them to go and they have to go get some stuff. I don't know, I haven't done this, I haven't really been Chaos, but it's like they have to go get a decryption code, which is usually found in the reactors, in the reactor control room's supervisor room. You'll see it later. And I think they have to enter something into this terminal and stuff. And the computer core, I think that's like Warhead or something. I'm not going to be covering Warhead because I don't really know anything. Now, during full facility destruction, there will be a 1-minute time frame for people to come and stop the full facility destruction. That will require pressing these 4 buttons and possibly more. That will require you to press these 4 buttons though. You'll need to switch servers to manual. Basically, you go to each lever, click, 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 click. All 6 are in manual. That's when you can press this button and it works. You do the same for all 4, and I believe that stops full facility destruction. There could be more though. So that's about what the engineer can do. I'm pretty sure they can also fix motors when they're strained, which we'll talk about what that is later. But at the moment, let me see. Let me check that. Engineer technical team. Anyway, yeah, that is about it for that. So now let's talk about my favorite, the reactor operators. The reactor operators are basically the people usually operating the reactor. My goodness. had no idea. Basically, they're usually the people. Oh, like. Now, to become a reactor operator, you're gonna need 300 global XP and to be in the High Science Roblox group, which is basically as easy as just going to the developers group and joining. Yeah, High Science. And getting 300 global XP. Basically. We will talk more about it when we get there. As a reactor operator, your job is usually to keep the reactor stable, refuel it when needed, and so on. Now, as a reactor operator, I will tell you some reactor operator stories, I guess. So, which has been in the past week when I really played and became a reactor operator. So, basically, there was Like twice I did meltdowns like, oh yeah, chaos. You keep destroying the facility with either a warhead or full facility destruction. So we ended up doing meltdowns, which I find it's like quite. I'm gonna talk the whole time, so I might not do a jump cut. So it's quite hypocritical. It's like the chaos is like, man, don't do the meltdown. You'll destroy the facility and whatnot. I think they don't get XP from that. But we're like, you keep destroying the facility all the time, so taste your own medicine. And they tried to stop us using force twice, but they failed. Haha. Take that. Anyway, yeah, you should see a jump cut in a moment. Little tip when you're if you need to evac from the facility and you have to leave from the reactor room, this service hallway is a good thing for time saving. Like, it will get you there fast. It will get you to the reactor faster and away from the reactor faster. Now the truck area, a little note here. Basically, chaos. When there's like an evacuation, there is a truck that will. This is also where Sector C is. The boxes.
The reactor core must be started before midnight. Please, don't miss it.
Maybe we'll start it on time and all. You take these boxes and they need to go somewhere. But here, during destruction, I think Warhead and Full Facility both do it. A truck will come down here and Chaos can use it to escape. It's not the truck isn't there for long though. Yeah. And if you get there, if you get on and you're not Chaos, you get on the truck, you can get a badge. I'll talk more about badges later. Sector management. Oh yeah, that has the Like, there's stuff in my throat. That is one of the places you could find a key for, like, emergency shutdown. This is the power. You can also go in there and switch to auxiliary, but that's automatically done. At least until part 2. Oh, we are recording a long video. Security zone, yeah. Storage unit, yeah. Sector, yeah, I'm going the right way. Now, this is the airlock. This is just an engineer task that you can do. It's just the most, I don't know why. I don't know who keeps breaking that wall. Anyway, we are going to be going into the reactor area. So here's the Sector D map. In a moment, the door should open. That was a little bit more than a moment. There are like a thing you can press for emergency, like open both doors, but that doesn't. I've seen both doors open before for like emergency stuff, but I've never done it myself.
Decontamination in progress.
Yeah.
Decontamination completed.
Basically, yeah. There's these little metal detectors. When they break, engineers, I'm pretty sure those are the ones who can fix them. Reactor maintenance. We'll get into that later. Anyway, this is the control room, where you'll find the decryption key, the decryption key right here, sticky notes, paintings of the founders, which are supposed to be saved in emergency before people, the restroom, Walter White, Moab. Oh, and notepads, those things are everywhere. Oh, and also the keys. Now this decryption thing, that's for like chaos and this stuff to use. Anyway, using the employee keycard, this is the welcome to the reactor control room. Basically, where the big stuff happens. Where reactors stall and melt down. And where hopefully, if chaos doesn't have to freaking be chaos, the shift ends and we shut it down. Now, let's start with the startup process so you can understand how to start up a reactor. Alright, so we got engineers have to turn on turbines and the lasers are already fueled at the start. So to cooling pumps, we should do that first. This is when you will activate the cooling pumps. You first turn these 2 switches on each one. And by the way, I'll tell you a tip later. So, and then after a moment, you can flip these switches. At the start, I recommend you turn on the e-cooling tank to fill. So in a case of an emergency when it gets very hot, this tank fills, and if it gets hot enough, you can turn this switch and press this button. Basically, it gets very, very cold. It starts cooling it very quickly. Now, that's one thing done. Now, the safeguards. That is these 4 buttons. Now, you're gonna want to turn on these 3, like, for each one. I should probably put sections into this. Anyway. It's like gonna be the low quality video, but it's gonna have some editing. And then you wanna flip these. I changed my recording settings to have high quality, but it won't take effect until next recording, so this one will be like the last recording. Anyway, so yeah, those buttons are going to open. I'm so sorry. It's like it's laggy as heck. And you're gonna press these buttons. Now you'll see the safeguards turn on. Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah, those are the safeguards turning on. I might want to hurry. I don't actually know what happens if we just leave it off. And safeguard should be ready. Yep. Now we just gotta power the lasers. Now I recommend you might want to turn on the cooling loops, which you're gonna have to do after you turn on pumps. Now you could just do this, and the lasers are counted as ready. But I recommend you go and turn on the cooling loops. Alright, and now you should be ready to start the reactor. Yep. So this is when you'll take your key, you insert it into the reactor, and you're going to turn it, and you're going to press the... You're going to press the giant red button.
Attention. The experimental control fusion reactor startup sequence has been activated by reactor operators. The reactor
There's also
startup
tasks.
will begin in 30 seconds. Any reactor maintenance or inspection should be stopped at this time.
Now, there are tasks. Task 1 is done by just starting up the reactor. Tasks 3 and 4 are usually what are done. Task 3 is usually done first, then 4, then 2, then 5. 5 is shut down after 6. Task 3 is basically keep the temperature to this for about an hour. Task 4, keep the temperature to this for about 2 hours. I'm not sure if it's this, if it has to be continually this in between these temperature range for 2 hours exactly. By the way, this is like in-game time.
Moving the lasers to the ignition position.
Anyway, basically, I'm not sure if it's like if you English is breaking here. Like if you have to do it for 2 straight hours, or you could do it for 1 hour, do task 3, do task 4 for the next hour, and that would count. Task 2, basically just get the reactor pretty hot. You're gonna have a power task, which you can also see right here. Alright, we have successfully done it. Now, to explain what stuff means. Little note. Is it going to tell me you can now operate the core?
Attention for reactor operators. You can monitor and operate the reactor now.
Alright, so here is a book you can use if you really need it. It's pretty boring though, I haven't read all of it. These are some tips, I haven't really read any of them. Anyway, here's what this stuff means. The reactivity. If it's in the negative, that means the temperature is going down. If it's in the positive, it's going up. The plasma temperature is your core temperature, basically. This other stuff, your thermal power output, table temperature, you don't really need to pay too much attention to. You can, though, if you want to. This stuff, I don't pay too much attention to now. This stuff, reactivity stable. If it's within 3%, it will be glowing green. Now, usually this is what you would want to see, I guess. It's all going well. Anyway, yeah. Now, let's talk about this stuff. When it comes to neutron absorption and helium relief valve, if you keep that on, or off I believe, if you have the neutron absorption at 2 or 3, it will start a barium buildup, which hasn't, to my knowledge, doesn't do anything yet. It might or might not. And I believe neutron buildup, you have a helium buildup if it's not on. But this is all cooling stuff, mind you. 1 second. This is all cooling. Reactor cooling monitoring. This electricity stuff doesn't seem, it seems to be coming in part 2. Turbine monitoring. Now these are the lasers. Now, I'm gonna let you know, there's gonna be warnings, like pressure warnings, and which just require you to switch on the pressure valve. which if you can, you should, because it's only switchable when there is high pressure. And coolant loop is what heats up, what cools down laser vessels. Oh my god, it's laggy. Sorry. Anyway. These are pretty important. Now, as this sticky note right here says, keep the pump motor strain less than 75%. High strain may lead to pump fail. Basically, these motors here are what basically have the pumps on. When it comes to cooling it or lessly cooling it, these levers will set the amount, the flow rate basically. And the motors will have to compensate for that number. So if you set it too high, it starts to go up, and the motors could break. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, the engineers can fix motors, but you know, there's not always an engineer, and it's not always gonna be immediately done. Hold on, let me show you. Let me just turn off a single pump. Watch the reactivity. It's like every 2 flashes, it updates the board. You see, it went from cooling to heating. That's how important these pumps are. If both are to go out, hold on. Usually you want to set them, I guess, say 40, 50%. By the way, if you just hold it, it will just leave it like this, it will just go to 100%. And let's let it go to 50. To 50? My voice cracked like badly. Oh, yeah, both 53. And now, see, it's negative reactivity, meaning it's going to be going down. Now, what happens? Now, these are the main cooling sources, so if we turn off both, by the way, there's a pump room where people can interact with that. Watch this. Look at that. You lost basically your cooling, so you're gonna have to hope E-cooling is filled. So better make sure that tank's filled. Well, this is if you want to keep a stable core, and you'll start getting warnings. Cooling input low warning, and possibly more. Now, when I should probably turn those back on. We will leave one low, but we're gonna use pump 2 for an example. What if you want to sabotage something? Well, if you're the only reactor operator and there's no one else in the room, you can be a little cheeky and set this up. If it's basically just you and the server, there's probably not another engineer. Now, at first, this will just be very helpful for cooling, but if we give it a second, yeah, you can see that pump strain starts to go up. Once it gets above 75%, you will get warnings. And it's not exactly good from there. When it comes to, speaking of cooling, I should say on topic here, to turn laser cooling, you're gonna have to have the coolant loop on to change it. Now, oh, we are still at 55%. Anyway, I keep switching between stuff, so it's gonna be, oh, sorry. So it's gonna be like, yeah, this is a long video. How's it been 31 minutes? How? My goodness. Anyway, see, you're going to see, hold on, let's just strain both pumps. We're going to show you how stuff works here. We're including, so, let's say you just want to be a little devil and sabotage the, oh my god. And sabotage the core. You're gonna start turning up these lasers. And probably want to turn up the cooling so the lasers don't break, which I don't know if they can or not. I think, maybe. I haven't seen it yet. I've played a good bit of Reactor Operator though. Anyway, by the way, when stuff hits like the max level, see laser 1 is about to hit 100%, see the lever will go back to its default position. There it goes. Now, you see, the motor strain takes a while, but oh my god, it's laggy as heck. Anyway, oh my. So yeah, actually I might split this into 2 parts, this way it'll be easier, and also my thing won't strain as much. Basically, that was the stuff you should know about being a reactor operator. Task, the order 1, 3, 4, 2, 5. Lasers, want to make sure you keep that pressure low, coolant loops on. Pumps, Keep that strain below 75%. E-cooling, have it ready, have that tank filled. These things, don't let the buildup get too high. When it comes to, we'll talk more about the reactor in part 2. I will see you in, for me it'll be just a moment.